An armed man was shot outside the White House by the U.S. Secret Service early on Sunday after a confrontation. That's according to a statement released by the agency. President Donald Trump was at his Florida residence at the time. According to the statement, Secret Service officials received a tip on Saturday from local authorities that a suicidal person may be traveling to Washington from Indiana, and the person's car was found a block from the White House. Shortly after midnight local time, the man brandished a firearm as officers approached him, and the Secret Service opened fire. The individual is now in an area hospital, and no Secret Service personnel were injured, the statement said. Over the years, there have been a series of incidents involving armed men shot by security officers on or near the White House grounds, including the shooting of a man who brandished a handgun at a security gate in 2016.
Russia's defense ministry released this video on Sunday of what it said were drone strikes on a Ukrainian military column in Russia's Kursk region. Reuters was able to partially confirm the location of the video as Suja, but could not independently verify the date it was recorded. Russia has been pressing to regain control of the Kursk region with some success in recent days. Open-source maps on Friday showed Kyiv's contingent in Kursk nearly surrounded after rapid Russian advances. Former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev said on Sunday the offensive was continuing and that the encirclement was almost complete. The Ukrainian military's general staff in a late afternoon report said its forces repelled 15 Russian attacks in the Kursk region. It also reported 12 Russian airstrikes on their positions. Ukrainian troops stormed into Russia's Kursk region last summer, taking chunks of territory in an unexpected lightning attack more than 2 years after Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered tens of thousands of troops into Ukraine. Kyiv said the attack was an attempt to gain a bargaining chip in future negotiations and to force Russia to shift forces from eastern Ukraine. Russian advances and U.S. President Donald Trump's upending of U.S. policy on Ukraine and Russia have raised fears among European leaders that Ukraine will lose the war and that Trump is turning his back on Europe. The U.S. paused military aid and the sharing of intelligence with Ukraine this month after a meeting between Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on February 28th descended into acrimony.
You don't have the cards right now.
Yeah, she fell right on top of the power line. It's just touching it. Really hoping that the tree stays where it is and doesn't fall any further. We were sleeping in the hallway to try and stay out of any danger. And yeah, it wasn't the most comfortable night's sleep, but yeah, we're just glad to be able to still be here, and yeah, and we weren't hurt, so yeah, it's all good.
We actually manage the caravan park across the road here, and we've just realised that we've got 2 big trees have come down and pulled fencing up and things, so we'll spend most of the day assessing that and trying to clean that up.
This is not a matter of simply violating university rules. This is a movement, an anti-war movement.
Agents from President Donald Trump's administration have arrested Palestinian graduate student Mahmoud Khalil, who played a prominent role in last year's pro-Palestinian protests at New York's Columbia University. That's according to a statement released by the Student Workers Labor Union, which added that Khalil was arrested by U.S. Department of Homeland Security agents at his university residence on Saturday. Khalil has been one of the lead negotiators with school administrators on behalf of the pro-Palestinian student protesters. His detention appears to be one of the first efforts by Trump to fulfill his promise to seek the deportation of some foreign students involved in the pro-Palestinian protest movement against Israel's war in Gaza that swept college campuses last spring. A spokesperson for Columbia said the school was barred by law from sharing information about individual students. Spokespeople for Trump, DHS, and the Department of State did not respond to questions. It was not immediately clear on what grounds DHS agents arrested Khalil. Khalil's arrest comes on the heels of the Trump administration canceling government contracts and grants awarded to Columbia University worth about $400 million. The government said the cuts in the student deportation efforts are because of anti-Semitic harassment at and near Columbia's Manhattan campus. In response, Columbia's interim president said the school was committed to combating anti-Semitism and was working with the federal government to address their legitimate concerns.
North Korea fired multiple ballistic missiles Monday after the South began joint drills with the US. It's the first time the North has launched missiles since Donald Trump returned as US president. It comes after the reclusive country's foreign ministry condemned the joint drills, with state media quoting the ministry, calling them a dangerous, provocative act. Pyongyang state media added that it would worsen the situation on the Korean peninsula. On Monday, South Korea's Air Force Chief Lee Young-soo bowed in apology over what he called an unprecedented accident last week, where two jets mistakenly bombed a village, wounding at least 29 people. According to South Korea's Yonhap news agency, a pilot in one jet was pressed for time and didn't double-check target coordinates, while another dropped bombs without noticing that the coordinates were incorrect. The Defense Ministry was not immediately available for comment. The accidental bombing happened about 25 miles northeast of Seoul, outside a training area near the North Korean border. It also coincided with the annual Freedom Shield exercises, jointly held with the United States. The drills are scheduled to run till March 20th, but live fire exercises were suspended after the misfire. Residents have long complained about the disturbances and risks from the exercises.
Taiwan's Foxconn launched its first large language model on Monday. It said it plans to use the technology to improve manufacturing and supply chain management. Foxconn said in a statement the model is called Foxbrain and they completed it in about 4 weeks. It's a major step for the tech giant, which already produces Nvidia's AI servers and assembles iPhones for Apple. Foxconn said the model is based on Meta's Llama 3.1 architecture. It's Taiwan's first large language model with reasoning capabilities, and it's optimized for traditional Chinese and Taiwanese language styles. Foxconn said there was a slight performance gap compared with the distillation model made by China's DeepSeek, but added its overall performance is very close to world-class standards. The firm now plans to work with tech partners to expand the model's applications.